Jared Polin, Fro Knows Photo, and we're back with a photo from Flickr, so that makes it the Flickr Photo of the Week, and it was taken by Peter, who is living in Northern Ireland by way of Poland originally. Peter, how are you?
Well, I'm fine. Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm hanging in there. Just picked up the T-shirts and really happy with them.
Good man, good man.
So, this picture that everybody's looking at right now, when I first saw it, it really stood out at me. I wanted to know more. I was, you know I hate HDR, and this isn't HDR, which is great. I wanted to know more about how you created this. So do you want to tell everybody how you did this?
Yeah, that's not a problem. Okay, so generally it is not HDR, as you mentioned it. It's just a normal, simple, straight photo from, it just came up from the camera, like this, basically. What I've done is just found the place, set up the camera, okay, and just to take a picture. So amazingly, it just came up like this.
Well,
okay,
how long of an exposure?
Well, this one was like 410 seconds, I think, so it's around nearly 7 minutes.
Right, so you're definitely on a tripod, and
oh no, you're definitely on the tripod. You're definitely, like, jumping around the camera to cover from the wind, to have as less, shaking or vibration as you can get from the day. And this, well, it's my country is well known from the winds, and especially this lake. So most of the time there's like a huge waves and it's pretty strong winds. So you need, you have to be aware of that. So, well, I set my camera very low and put some weight on it as well.
Right,
just to cover hold the camera from the swing around.
And a lot of tripods have a center portion that has a hook on it because you can hang something there to keep it more stable.
Yes, I love that.
So
I have that.
Let's talk about the color, because the color is really awesome. You used filters, correct?
Yes, but then it's not a color filter. Okay, so basically this is a filter which reduces the light for about 10 stops.
Reduces the light by 10 stops.
Yes, reduce the light by 10 stops. Then you can, I think, if I recall correctly, I think that I used the cooking ones as well, like ND8, the really dark one.
You're using neutral density filters.
Yes, neutral density. Yes. Just one, just the ND8.
Mm-hmm.
And the graduated as well.
Right. And this is exactly the color that you got out of the camera, correct?
Yes, that's right. It's because of the it will not. Well, if you're doing the long exposure with this particular filter, it's a B&B 1000X, which will reduce the light about 10 stops. Basically, if you're doing long exposure for like 3-4 minutes, it will change the color saturation. If you change the white balance in your camera, okay, it's not. This is not the automatic white balance.
Sure.
I just set the white balance by myself, and basically, if I will go for the 30 seconds or 1 minute, the color will be different as well. And
right.
Also, it's very important to have the light from the sun from your right side, and it must be high. So let's say this picture was taken around between 11 and 12 o'clock, I think. So the sun was very high. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. And this day the lake was really calm. So that's why you have this really like a mirror surface on it. Okay. And then so I set up my camera, set up my white balance. I've done a couple of shots before this one, just to make sure that everything is straight and nice, and the picture just came up like this.
Well, that's great.
Neatly straight from the camera.
Yeah, it's just really unique. It's not something that you see because a lot of people aren't taking the extra time to try this out these days. They want to take 14 pictures at different exposures and then spend the whole day in the computer trying to futz with it instead of, you know, getting it right traditionally. I don't know if I want to say that, but getting it right or capturing it in the camera this way. Not saying that, you know, everything needs to be captured perfectly in the camera. I'm just against totally reworking a photo after the fact in Photoshop when you could have easily gotten it right in the camera.
Yes, well, I agree with you definitely. I'm not using Photoshop, just to let you know, and I'm just using just Lightroom
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of a Paint Shop Pro X12. So this is not any tricks or something. It's just that the image is just cropped, and I just put a little bit of vignetting around the corners, as you see.
Yeah.
And just that's basically what I've done, and it's just a little bit what I've done. It's just a little bit of clarity.
Right, which is fine. Yeah, that stuff's fine. And you said that it's cropped, and I know I questioned, excuse me, I asked that before, and the reason that it was cropped is because neutral density filters are generally square, and if you have a certain holder, it may block part of the image, which means you don't want the holder in the photo, thus allowing you the ability to, or needing to crop it out so that you can be left with this image. So, you know, in that case, that's okay. You have my blessing on the crop there.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, when I'm using different lenses like 18 to 70 Nikkor or whatever lenses above the, I think above the 16 will be fine. But then sometimes you wish to capture the most of the scene, and you want to keep. Well, I'm using the Turkina, so 12 to 24. And I really want to have this lens, just zoom completely on the 12, just keep it on the 12. So then basically I'm cropping the image, and it's not every time, but it's just this particular photo. It was cropped anyway.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have to be also aware that some data or deals might be lost during the long exposure photography, as this is a long exposure. So there's some things like the trees in the background are moving, so it might just give you a little bit dizzy feeling.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into taking a picture. Just, you know, long exposure things like you just said. The trees moving could ruin your photos, and here the clouds moving look nice, and the water is nice and nice. I don't know what other word to put there, but you know, it's just a really stunning image to know that it's mostly done in the camera with a few minor tweaks after in Lightroom, which is normal because every file needs to be tweaked, especially the raw files all have to be worked after the fact. That's what makes it good. So Peter, any last words?
Well, any last words is I want you to I would like to agree with you definitely, and just wanted to tell all the guys that it's always better to trying to get your image straight from the camera, or just set up your camera right, not to use your different techniques to just fake your photo. It's always better to have a natural photo came up, and it always be appreciated much more, I think. So that's basically it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Peter. I would thank you very much for this image, and that's that's true. Get it as right as possible in the camera. If you find yourself saying, "Oh, I'll just fix it later in Photoshop," don't, because you're creating an extra step for yourself. Just try to get it right. If there's something in it, reframe the image instead of cropping later. All things that I'm going to talk about further on the page. But I wanted to bring this picture to you. Keep putting your pictures up in the Flickr photo group, Frono's Photo on Flickr, and you never know, I could be calling you for an interview. So Peter, thank you again.
Thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome. And this has been Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Talk to you later.
See ya.